All right, guys, polynomial division with remainders, okay? Now, today we're going to be doing long division the way we did it earlier this week, but this time we may have a remainder, okay? So let's jump right in. So we want to make sure that the polynomial that we're dividing is not missing any terms. So what I mean by that is that it goes in order of highest degree to the lowest, okay? So this is x to the third, x to the second, x to the first, and this could be thought of as x to the 0 power. So there are no missing, 3, 2, 1, 0, they're all there. And then the divisor here is not missing any either, it's just x to the first and x to the 0. Okay, so that means we don't have to fill in any with the 0. We could just write it as we see it. So we have 4x cubed plus 26x squared minus 15x minus 7 divided by x plus 6. Okay, so what we're going to do, remember, is we're going to take the first term here and divide it by the first term outside. And so we have 4x cubed divided by x. That's just going to be 4x squared. Remember, one of those cancels out one of those, and we're left with 4x squared. So we're going to go ahead and put the 4x squared above the x squared term. So we're going to put it right there, 4x squared. Okay, now we're going to multiply 4x squared times x is going to be 4x cubed, and 4x squared times 6 is going to be 24x squared. Okay, underline it and then change the sign. So that means we're subtracting. So change the signs there. They were both positive, so now they're both negative. Okay, so this cancels. And then 26x squared minus 24x squared is going to be 2x squared. Okay. And then we bring down the next term, negative 15x. And then we repeat. Okay, so we're going to take this first term here, 2x squared, and divide it by just x. So that's going to leave us with 2x. Okay, so it's 2x. We're going to write that above the x term, so that'll be plus 2x. And then we multiply. 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times 6 is 12x. Okay, and so this cancels out. Oops, I'm supposed to change the signs first here. And so we have negative 15 and negative 12 makes negative 27x. Okay? And so we bring down the last term there, which is minus 7. All right, so now we go ahead and take this, divide the first term there, that's a 27x negative, and divided by the x. So negative 27x divided by x. The x is simply canceled. We're left with negative 27. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this here, negative 27, right above the last term there. And now we multiply. Negative 27 times x is going to be negative 27x. And then negative 27 times 6, I'm going to go ahead and use the calculator for that. So 27 times 6 is 162. But since it's a negative, it's going to be negative 162. Okay? So change the sign, so that's positive and that's positive. This cancels. And I have 162 minus 7. That's 155. Notice that's my remainder. Why is it my remainder? Because I have nothing else left to bring down. And so I've come to the end of this problem there. So it's 155 as my remainder. So how do I write my answer? Okay, well, we go ahead and take this. We write it 4x squared plus 2x minus 27. And then we're going to write plus, and then we're going to write our remainder as a fraction. So it'll be 155 over x plus 6. And that's my result. Okay? So that would be my final answer. Next problem. And this is the first time we've done a problem like this with a trinomial here. So let's get started here. Let's make sure we do this one right. So notice here, first thing I want to check before I get started, before I write out the division symbol here, I'm going to go ahead and check I'm not missing any terms. So that's to the fourth, third, second, first, 0. Same thing for here. 2, 1, 0. We're counting down the exponents. 2, 1, 0. So they're all there. So we can go ahead and write everything inside. If there were one missing, we would just put a 0x and then to whatever power was missing, okay? this is going to be divided by 3x squared minus x minus 2. Okay, so now we're going to start the same way we did the other problems. We're going to go ahead and take the first term here and divide it by the first term here. Okay, and so we're going to do 9x to the 4th over 3x squared. And so the 3 goes into the 9 3 times, and x squared and x to the 4th. I'm left with x squared. So this will be 3x squared. Oops, I wrote the wrong number there. That should be 3x squared. Okay? And so notice here, I have 3x squared. I'm going to write it above the x squared term, which is all the way over here. So I'm going to put the 3x squared right there. Okay? Notice I didn't put it above this one, above that one. I put it above the same term. Now, so now we're going to multiply 3x squared times 3x squared. That's going to be 9x to the 4th. Multiply the next term. 3x squared times negative x is going to be negative 3x cubed. And then 3x squared times negative 2 is going to be negative 6x squared. And then change all the signs. So this will be a negative, this will be a positive, this will be a positive. Okay? And so watch this. This cancels out. 18 and 3 make 21x cubed. 14 and 6 makes 20x squared. And then I'm going to bring down the next term, which is negative 16x. Oh, I ran out of space here, so I'm going to erase this, okay? So let's go ahead and take the first term here and divide it by the first term there. I'll do it over here. 21x cubed over 3x squared, okay? And so that's going to be 7x, because 2 of these go away with 2 of those, and so I'm left with just an x. So this will be 7x. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put that above the negative 16x, so it'll be plus 7x. Okay, and now let's go ahead and multiply. 7x times 3x squared is going to be 21x cubed. And 7x times negative x is going to be negative 7x squared. And 7x times negative 2 is going to be negative 14x. Underline it and change all the signs. This will be a negative, this will be a positive, this will be a positive. So that cancels. And then I'm left with 20 plus 7, that's 27x squared. And then negative 16 and 4 makes negative 2x. And then finally bring down the last term, which is negative 21. Okay. Again, we repeat until we have nothing else to bring down. So we have 27x squared divided by 3x squared. Notice I always divide by the first term on the outside. And so the x squared is canceled. 3 goes into 27 9 times. So the plus 9 goes up here. Okay? So now multiply 9 times 3 is going to be 27. So we get 27x squared. 9 times negative x is going to be negative 9x. And then 9 times negative 2 is going to be negative 18. Change all the signs. The first term cancels. 9x and negative 2x makes 7x. And then 18 minus 21 is negative 3. Since I have nothing left to bring down, this is my remainder. Okay? And so let's go ahead and write our answer. Our answer is going to be this top part there plus our remainder. So we have here 3x squared plus 7x plus 9 plus, and let's go ahead and write our fraction here, 7x minus 3 all over 3x squared minus x minus 2. Okay? That's how you do it. Okay, guys, so take a look at this next one. Very interesting problem here, okay? Notice here, we have to the third power, so let's count down, make sure we're not missing any terms. So 3, 2, wait, where's the x squared? It's not there, right? So we have 3, we're missing 2, we have 1, 0. So 3, 2, 1, 0, the x squared is missing. Right here, it starts with 1, 1, 0. We're all good there. So there's missing a term here. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill it in with a 0 here. So remember, we're missing the x squared term. So here's how I'm going to write this here. It's going to be x to the third plus 0x squared. And then that was the only one that was missing. So then I just write everything else. Minus 3x minus 8. And we're going to divide it by x plus 2. You see that? So we need to make sure we include the term by writing a 0 there. All right, and then we can just do it as we were doing all the other problems. So let's go ahead and take the first term here and divide it by the first term there. So it'll be x to the third divided by x. Well, that's just going to be x squared. Okay, so let's go ahead and put x squared right above that one. And then multiply. X squared times x is x cubed. And x squared times 2 is going to be 2x squared. Okay, see how all the terms line up? X cubes, x squares. Everything's lined up nicely. And so we're going to change the signs now. Subtract here, subtract there. And so that cancels. And then I have 0x minus 2x, or x squared, I mean. And so this will be negative 2x squared. See that? Now let's bring down the 3x, negative 3x here. And then repeat. So we're going to take the negative 2x squared and divide it by x. So we have negative 2, and then one of the x cancels that one, so that's just negative 2x. Okay, so we're going to put a negative 2x here. And then negative 2x times x is negative 2x squared. And then negative 2x times 2 is going to be negative 4x. Okay, change all the signs, so that'll become positive. That'll become positive, so this cancels. I'm left with just x. 4x minus 3x is just x. Okay, bring down the negative 8 and repeat the process here. So x divided by x. And that's just 1. Everything cancels out, so that's just 1. And so we put the plus 1 up here. Okay, now multiply. 1 times x is x. 1 times 2 is 2, so plus 2. Change all the signs, subtract here. And so those cancel, and I get negative 8 and negative 2 makes negative 10. And there's nothing else to bring down, so this is my remainder. Okay, and so I'm going to write it like this. I'm going to write what I got up here as my answer, my x squared minus 2x plus 1 plus, and I'm going to write a fraction, negative 10 over x plus 2. Okay, and that's it. So remember, whenever you're missing a term, even if it's the last number here, let's say it was just x to the third plus 5x squared minus 3x, but there was no minus 8, then you would have to write plus 0 at the end. Okay? All right, that's it, guys.